welcome. I want to start today's video with the question, do you have anxiety? And if the answer is yes, you're not alone. It is no secret that anxiety can be incredibly tough to live with. And if you know my story, you heard me saying that a panic attack was exactly what the biggest gift that I ever received, because it opened up myself to this empowering world, and not only to empower myself, but to change the lives of thousands and thousands. So the good news is there is a lot of ways that you can release your anxiety in just a few minutes. So today I want to show you the way that works beautifully for myself and for my clients. And you can start shifting how you perceive yourself and anxiety, so you can shift in a matter of 5 minutes or less. So let's first get to the same page here. What is anxiety, right? Anxiety are, as Google says, intense, excessive, and persistent worries and fears about everyday situations, right? And most people will experience as fast heart rate, rapid breathing, sweating, and feeling tired, and even showing signs of depression. So thank you, Google, for bringing the most succinct explanation of anxiety. From my perspective, when I felt anxiety many years ago, I was driving to work, and I literally, in my 20-something years, I thought I was having a heart attack because I had no idea what was that. I never experienced that. And it felt like my heart was going to explode out of my chest in the middle of the freeway. So not fun at all. Now, what I want you to bring the attention is, I started, as I was tuning into today's training, where does that start, right? If you trace back, all anxiety starts with one thought. My one thought, if you've seen that, I will actually put here the link for my video that I actually share the story a little more in depth. But my one thought was, what if I would end up my life with my dreams unfulfilled? And I was actually looking at the trajectory on that day, on that fatidic day on the freeway. I was looking at literally all the thoughts about if nothing changed. I was seeing myself as miserable, as the victim moving on, and as someone that never able to accomplish anything. So, but if I trace it back, it starts with one thought. That one thought was me not being in the present, was me jumping with my thoughts into a future, no bueno, not a future that I wanted to experience, right? So it's like one thought that took me to one very sad probability of my future. And so that's exactly what thoughts do, right? I immediately left the present and I went to a future version that was depressive. And because of that, other depressive thoughts start piling up, right? Your mind don't create anything, just create thoughts, right? And so your mind, only your mind cannot create anything, only a bunch of thoughts, and then becomes a thought party. Like one negative thought is going to become a thought party of negative thoughts and will create you to feel anxiety, right? Thoughts become things. So what I want to invite you to today is to, next time you feel the first signs of your anxiety, instead of judge yourself, worry about other thoughts, or of escalating the anxiety, we are going to create a new meaning for anxiety. We're going to create the meaning of that first sign of anxiety is my divine self, my higher self, the universe, God, whatever is the higher power in your life. But it's a reminder to trigger me to pay attention, to come back to the present and to come back to what future version of myself I want to create. And this is very important to understand the connections between your thoughts and your emotion. And if you have one thought, let me give an example. Let me talk about, use a simple example. In a month from now, you need to do a test and you are anxious about the results of the test, right? So anxious about the results of the test means you're afraid you're going to fail in the test. So understanding that we live in this world of polarity, being afraid of the test exists, therefore, the polarity of it also exists. Being successful at the test also exists. So the moment that you are focused on the negative thought, I'm going to, flunk at the test. So the moment that comes through, there will be a thought patterns of those negative thoughts happening. And as they start, your body is going to feel the emotions of how does it feel to flunk the test? What I'm, how I'm going to feel about myself, what other people that are around me in my life may feel, whatever. And you start creating that worry, that fear energy, and therefore you in a second you're already feeling anxiety, right? So knowing that there is always a polarity, knowing that anytime you entertain negative thoughts, you're going to contract your body. Know that the opposite is also true. So there is studies and studies and studies that show that the human brain cannot focus on two things at the same time, cannot have two emotions at the same time. So in the minute that you feel a contraction emotion, that you notice your body starts going through the feelings, you can say, opa, stop. So opa in Portuguese, like stop. Bring the awareness to it and bring the awareness that you have power, that the same way that you open up to the negative thoughts, the opposite is there. And then in that moment, you make a different choice. So you're going to use the awareness of starting feeling anxious to rewire your body and your perception and make it a trigger to remember to be present, to remember to focus on what is to be grateful right now in your life. So is the presence, bringing yourself back to alignment, and then connecting to what you wanted to create, yourself being successful at the test, and then moving forward in faith, right? And literally that is the order of creation of anything you want to manifest in your life. But the biggest thing to understand is that shift how you see anxiety. If you have your own judgment about yourself when you feel anxious, you're not going to help yourself to get out of it. So what if you start shifting how you perceive anxiety? What if a sign of anxiety is like, oh my gosh, I'm calling myself out. I'm going to be present. I'm going to focus on the gratitude. One awesome way to do it is breathing. There is many different breathing exercises. I love the box exercise. You breathe in 4 times in 4 seconds, like, then you hold for 4 seconds and you breathe out and you hold the breathe out for 4 seconds and start with 3 cycles and then start increasing. And as you're doing that, focus on what is to be grateful for right now, right? Grateful to have a ceiling above you, to have water to drink, simple things, right? Life is made of simple things. And the more you focus on the gratitude, the more is going to show up. And then following, it's like visualizing what you wanted to create. What you wanted to create. So you are here in the present, and there is this probability, this possibility. If you can think, regardless of what side, you can visualize yourself having it with your wishes fulfilled. So yourself right now, you are in a moment where everything can happen. You can flunk in the test or you can pass in the test. All is possible. Everything is possible. However, the more you go back to you are the creator of your life. And the more you're aware of every single second in your life, you're creating that future. However, if you throw yourself in the uncertainty and allow yourself to go into the fear of not creating what you wanted to create, what happens? You're losing the opportunity to be here in the present where you're going to create that version. So a different way to look at it, let's step into that version. Let's daily connect to yourself, successful at the test, and what you want right now that you already passed the test. If your version that already passed the test will look at you today, will be like, just relax and just, be focused on the present. It's happening. I passed the test, right? So what this is bringing to you is you wanted to tap into that probability of you successfully passing the test and start noticing deeper what that version of yourself, how that version of yourself holds itself, how that version of yourself sees itself. So your future version is looking at your thoughts of worries and uncertainty of today and like, don't worry about it. I passed. So it's bringing you, number one, confidence, right? So you wanted to start today, anchoring actually the way of being the person that is confident, the person that is disciplined, that every day is going to study, is going to bring attention, is going to focus in studying the test instead of worrying or what could happen. You waste time worrying, right? So if you just use that to bring yourself to the present and what can I do today to bring that? And by starting to daily states what, like let's say your I am statement. I am confident, I'm courageous, I'm present, I am disciplined, I study every day for 1 hour, whatever that is for you, the easier it gets. Now, one last tip is if it's hard for you to say I am confident yet, or I am anything yet, you can change it to every day I feel more and more confident. So that way you go around any resistance that may show up for you. Beautiful. So those are my tips to shift in 5 minutes or less from feeling anxious to bring you to the present, to bring you to connect with your future version that already feel successful in that you desire today. I would love to invite you to comment below the ahas that you had with this video today. And if you haven't subscribed for this channel, subscribe, press the bell so you can be notified anytime we have another new powerful video for you. I love you and I'll see you soon.